Hello, welcome to the land of Kakiak. My name is Laurel. This is part 2 of Anatomy of a Homeschool Day. I will link the previous video for you, part 1, where I kind of show you what we did before school today. And I left off here with our family subjects. The first thing we do when we get into the schoolroom is to do Bible. We are using the Bible recap, and I usually am actually playing the audio Bible while we are reading along for the prescribed chapters, and then we just do like the discussion part, and it's very quick and simple and not time consuming at all. The next thing we do is some kind of read aloud. Sometimes I use this for like history read aloud times. Right now we're just doing a fun book, The Phoenix and the Carpet. It is the second book in a trilogy, and the kids really like it. So when all that family stuff is done, we move into our seat work. William, you see him on the other side of the table. He is doing gentle grammar. I have him do something he can do on his own, because the first thing I want to do is reading with my kindergartner. So I use the McGuffey readers. I talk a lot about that. I'll link to my playlist in the description box if you want to see more about McGuffey readers and how we use them. I'm just doing some dictation with him now. You saw us playing memory to warm up with our reading words for this lesson. And my oldest, my 8th grader, he's right now doing math in IXL. So he's just working on the computer behind me in one of the comfy chairs. And this is really saving my sanity right now. I'm just like so hands-on with the 2 younger boys right now. I had, whenever it finished up Right Start Math, I actually just had him do some assessments on IXL, and I'll put their link in the description box for you if you want to check out that website. And it showed up some holes, some skills that he hadn't quite mastered. And so right now I'm having him just go through and work through the suggested skill sets, problems that they make for him through that website. So that is just like me being totally hands off, and I just get to let him work. And whenever he has those holes, whenever he tests out of that stuff, then I'm just going to move him on to his next Right Start book. But for right now, he's just working on the computer. Okay, so we always follow up reading, we incorporate what we read into writing, so we're working on our words right now with Beauregard. He is 6. This is getting towards the end of his kindergarten year. It's currently just beginning of May. So he's made a ton of progress in his reading and writing this school year. It's been amazing. Right now I am just having him actually dictate to me. So he is reading his reading words to me so that I can write them out for him in the highlighter for him to trace. That's for handwriting. And then he is actually analyzing the word with me and counting out the sounds. So I'm giving him those blanks to fill in. So he is, tracing that word. We had him do dictation right at the beginning, where I dictated to him, and he tried to fill it in how he thought it was spelled. He only missed 2, and then now he's tracing it, and then he's like analyzing that word. Then he's breaking it down and actually writing phoneme by phoneme. So he can work on that on his own right now. He knows what he's doing for that. I set him up, and so I'm just checking in on my 3rd grader. William is 8. So gentle grammar. He had a little bit a harder time with this one today, just because it was kind of set up in a different format than he had seen before. So he was struggling a little bit. So I came over to look and just make sure he understood his instructions. Even though he's such a good reader, he still has the reading comprehension of an 8-year-old. It's sometimes it's deceiving when I hear him read how well he decodes words, and how great his inflection is and all that kind of stuff. But I have to be careful. I have to really watch him on even just instructions. Even though gentle grammar, it's like a single 1 or 2 sentence instructions, I have to really check on his reading comprehension, that he understands what he's supposed to be doing. Bo has he finished that, and then he is just flipping over to, he read me the whole passage, and now he's just doing a one whole sentence of copy work. So I was just checking in on him there, checking back with William. This is kind of, I kind of get into my ping pong part of the day. Bo is off for his first break of the day. He takes a break as soon as he finishes his reading. So I am just, now I get to give William my undivided attention. We have our guided, reading time. He's reading to me. And at his age, he doesn't have to read me the passage every single day, but he probably does read it to me 2 or 3 times, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or at least Monday, Tuesday at the very least. So I can check for his comprehension and correct any misreads and just see how it's sounding, his fluency and his accuracy and speed and stuff. So I left him to finish his lesson, what he could do on his own. He had a page to fill out, and I'm just going out for eggs and starting up lunch. These are my leftovers that I'm having for lunch. I made the kids quesadillas and blueberries and milk. And William's done now. He's finished with his McGuffey reader and his gentle grammar, so it's his lunch break. Everett actually is done with his math. He does math for an hour. I didn't say that before. So he's on a bike ride, and I'm just doing some chores. I needed to paint this wall before my husband puts up a new coffee bar for me. So that was my lunch chore I needed to get done. And then I also needed to set up my new printer. I got this new HP printer, a Smart Tank, and let me know in the comments if you want me to, give you a review of it. So now we're all back, right? Everyone's had lunch, everyone's had a recess. I've done some chores. Everett's taken a bike ride, and Everett is back for his afternoon. He's, I just showing you there, he's working in his McGuffey companion notebook for the 4th reader. I just have him set his timer for an hour actually right now, and he's just working, gets as far as he gets in an hour. And I am back to working with Bo. So this is the second thing we usually do of the day is the read me a story, working on that listening comprehension. I mean, that goes towards, that's really where reading comprehension starts, right? Because when you read, you're actually hearing the words in your mind. So I want to keep up that practice. So we are reading right now. Our read aloud for him specifically is the Beatrix Potter. And William, I'm just showing you, is having his independent reading time. He wanted to read Brambley Hedge today. So sometimes I break from the regular scheduled reading, and he was begging to read Brambley Hedge. I was like, go ahead. I just was checking what was next. I was like, okay, he's got a spelling next, his word work. I was just checking what was coming up just so I knew what was next on his docket. Now I'm reading it to him. What we talk about are, words that we don't know. What animal is this? Who are the characters? Where are they? What's the season? We just, whatever comes up. What's the moral? So once he actually drew me pictures of who the characters were, because we were that day, just because we talked about it. And I was just helping him now set up his science notebooking page. I alternate between science and social studies with him. And we're on to A Nest is Noisy. I will also link for you in the description box my updated sequences. It's like all the resources we use, kind of roughly delegated by grade. But I use this for science in kindergarten. So we're on A Nest is Bubbling, right? So I looked on that page, and he picked between those 4 different animal nests, which one he wanted to study today, and he went for this paradise fish. We watched a video, and then he just drew me a picture of what he saw, what he learned, and looks good to me. So now he is just going to clean up his spot, and he's going to take a break. We'll be doing math next, so it's just waiting for him while he runs outside to play in the sprinklers. And Everett's still chugging along. He's got 20 minutes left. I'm checking on his writing and reading, and William and I did a quick math lesson. Bo was back. He's all wet. He was out in the sprinklers in the backyard. He has to come back, and he put his pajamas on. And I'm just getting us prepped for math. Math is actually it's turned into it's like the thing I hated the most as a kid, but it's really been a joy with him. I don't know if it's just this book, these number stories series that we've done. I just love it better than anything else I used with the older 2. I didn't use a ton of things, but I used a Becca for kindergarten math with William, and it just was drudgery. And I'm just coming back to correct his work. I circle anything I want him to do again. You know, if he doesn't get it right, then I tell him, do it on your abacus. He's doing most things in his head now. So he was all done for the day. He put his books back in his basket, and I'm just telling him, you're done for the day. Good job. Go do whatever you want. You're free. And then I'm back just to check William's spelling assignment. And, you know, if it's satisfactory, we just stamp the page so I know it's done and we can move on. I do that for him and Beauregard. And then we're just marking his spot for the next day. And now William's done too. And now it's just me and Everett left in the room. And this is when I will typically do, if I need to do any little work, like if I need to look at Everett's writing to give him feedback, or if I need to do some planning pages in William's notebook, which is what I'm doing right now, because remember I was letting him read Brambley Hedge. I haven't quite mapped out what his next book is going to be because he just finished a book. I'm going back to the Easy Peasy Third Reader, and I was just going to have him go to the Five Little Peppers because that's on the RC list. But I looked at this Bears of Blue River story and I liked it. And I was like, let's just go ahead and have him read it. I thought it was nice. It talks about, it's like American way back times. And so I decided to go ahead and include it on his reading list. He'll be able to read it pretty quickly. So I do like to use the Easy Peasy. It's a nice time for me to like break it up from just the normal like summary, the chapter summary stuff I usually have them do, and use her specific comprehension questions. So I usually just kind of like jot them into the notebook for him just to save time and confusion. I just found that it helps him if it's on the page. But I could have him just go back to the beginning and read the questions. But I decided just to go ahead and do it. I'm just sitting there with Everett. Sometimes I think it kind of helps when Everett's still, and not to be left in here alone, and just to have me in here kind of calmly working on something. So that's the end of the day. All right, I hope that was helpful to anybody who feels like maybe they're their only ping pong mom out there. You're not. I am too. Happy homeschooling.